Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, first of all, the thing we need to know is that we breathe every second without realizing it. Why can that happen? Why do humans have to breathe? What happens when our breathing is disturbed? Therefore, allow me to explain why it can happen. My name is Wildan. I will explain about breathing analysis. Human can do two ways of breathing, using chest breathing and abdominal breathing. Human breathe using respiratory organ consisting of the nose, pharynx, trachea, bronchi, and bronchioles, and lung. In normal lung, the volume of air can reach 4,500 milliliter. Breathing is the process of moving air into and from the lung to facilitate gas exchange with the environment, mostly to flush out carbon dioxide and bring in oxygen. The table of content, I will explain. Number 1 is breathing. Number 2 is breathing apparatus. Number 3 is the respiratory system work. Number 4 is respiratory volume in the volume in the lung. Number 5, why do humans breathe? And the last one, number 6, is disorder of the respiratory tract. Breathing or ventilation is the process of moving air into and from the lung to facilitate gas exchange with the internal environment, mostly to flush out carbon dioxide and bring in oxygen. Humans breathe using the lung to expel carbon dioxide or CO2 and produce the energy needed by the body and absorb oxygen or O2 from the surrounding air. Breathing apparatus. The breathing apparatus functions to enter air containing oxygen and expel air, contain carbon dioxide and water vapor. The purpose of the breathing process is to obtain energy. In the event of breathing, energy release occur. Organ of the respiration according to the order in which air enter, from the nose, and then pharynx, and then larynx, trachea, bronchi, and bronchioles, and the last is the lung. In the nose, there are fine hair that function to filter air that enter the nose. In the pharynx is the junction between the esophagus and the throat. And the trachea is located in front of the esophagus. The trachea is in the front of pipe whose wall consists of 3 layers. Namely is outer layer, middle layer, and the inner layer. Bronchi and bronchioles is of the trachea that lead to the right and the left lung, while the bronchioles are the branches of the bronchi whose channel are smoother, the wall are thinner. And the last is lung. The lung are located in the throat cavity. There are 2 lungs, namely the right and the left lung. The lungs are covered by the lining of the lung, or the name is pleura. The respiratory system work. The mechanism of breathing consists of inspiration or inhaling and expiration or exhaling. At the time of inspiration, the diaphragm will contract, the chest cavity expand, and the air pressure in the alveoli decrease so that air from the atmosphere enter the lung. When exhaled, the diaphragm relax and the chest cavity narrow and the air pressure in the alveoli increase so that air from the lung comes out. Oxygen that enter the lung will be exchanged with carbon dioxide by the red blood cell found in the capillary. Oxygen will be carried throughout the body for metabolism while carbon dioxide will be released outside the body through the expiration mechanism. And the capacity volume, respiratory volume in the lung. In the process of breathing, also known as the volume of air, that is, the air volume is how much is air enter the body when a person is doing of a breathing process. There are several classification regarding this air volume. Number one is tidal volume. This is the amount of the air that goes in and out of the lung is still the normal pace, which is around 500 milliliter. Number two is expiratory reserve volume, the remaining volume of air that can still be exhaled after a normal exhalation. Its capacity is much as the range of 1,500 milliliter. Number three is inspiratory reserve volume, is the amount of air that can still enter the lung after carrying out the normal inhalation process. The capacity is approximate 1,500 milliliter. Number four is residual volume, the last remaining air in the lung that has expelled all the air, or maximum exhalation. The amount is about 1,000 milliliter. Number five, the vital capacity of the lung is about 3,500 milliliter, and is the sum of the tidal volume, expiratory reserve, and inspiratory reserve volume of the lung. And the last, total lung capacity is the maximum amount that the lung can accommodate by adding the vital capacity of the lung to the residual volume. Its capacity is about 4,500 milliliter. Why do humans breathe? Why do humans breathe? The oxygen that is inhaled from the air is then used in metabolism to convert food substance into energy, with the rest of the reaction in the form of water vapor and carbon dioxide gas. Because it requires oxygen, breathing in human is called aerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration required oxygen. In this respiration occur the release of a relatively large amount of energy in the cell by the breakdown of the nutrient in the presence of oxygen. The aerobic respiration reaction occur in the bodies of almost all animal and plant under normal condition. The reaction that occur in aerobic respiration is glucose plus oxygen transformed to carbon dioxide plus water. And then the last topic is disorder of the respiratory tract. Disorder of the respiratory tract. Number one is alveolar wall disease. This is maybe example. The example is pneumonia is an infection with the Diplococcus pneumonia bacteria, which causes by inflammation of the alveolar wall. The example number two is tuberculosis. It is a disease because bacilli which caused by bacilli, which result in nodulus on the alveolar wall. Number two is respiratory tract disease. The example is narrowing of the airway due to asthma or bronchitis. And then sinusitis and rhinitis. Number three is disease of the air transport system. The example is carbon monoxide and cyanide gas contamination. And then low level of hemoglobin, causing the body to lack oxygen or lack of blood. That's all. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam